working in construction for a while now, and started in drywall. And when I was in California, when I moved to Arizona, I got into sheet metal, like the HVAC side of it. So basically, all I do is I install ductwork. I worked all over the valley on all kinds of different projects, but the project I liked the most was we did a building for the FBI. And I would get there in the morning, and I had to walk I parked, and I had to walk a mile to the job site. And I would walk up to the building, and it was a massive building. It was huge. It was 5-story, big concrete building. It had windows that were about this thick, and they were bulletproof, and they had a wire meshing inside to prevent radio waves from getting in. Wow. So I would go to the gate, and they had a trailer there, and I'd go to the trailer, and I had to check in with the FBI every day, and I would trade in my driver's license and give me a badge, and I'd go in and go to work. But there's 2 ladies that worked for the FBI, and they were responsible for doing all this. And at first, it was pretty much just all business, you know, but after a while, we kind of knew each other by name. We talked a little bit, and they were really, really sweet ladies. So the first day I was there, they had a crew, and they were pouring a concrete pad for the parking garage. And standing literally right over their shoulder was an FBI agent in a black suit, just standing looking just to make sure that they didn't throw any listening devices into the concrete, you know, or anything like that. Wow. One day there was a lot of things like that separated this job from every other job. I remember I was working one time, and I looked out of the window, and they had a crew of workers, and they were placing rocks, all random out in the dirt. I'm like, hey, what are they doing? And I found out that if you look at the pattern that they were making from the sky, it formed a giant fingerprint. You know, and the FBI fingerprint is kind of the trademark. So one day I came in on a Monday, and I went up to the trailer like I do every day, and I got my badge, and 2 ladies were like, yeah, we made you Employee of the Week. I'm like, all right, it's awesome. What does that mean? Well, if there's a line to get your badge, or when you leave or come in the morning, if there's a line, you just cut the front. You don't have to wait. I was like, all right, that's awesome. And then they handed me a bag of stuff. And I'm looking in the bag, and it's all kinds of, like, I got a pen that said stolen from FBI Phoenix, some refrigerator magnet, and just odds and ends. And every day I came in that week, I would get something new. And finally on Friday, I got a hat to be on it. So that was cool. And the job's been done for a couple of years now, and I found out later that the general contractor that was building the building actually owned it, and the FBI was leasing it from him. And that general contractor, they sold the building to a company in Canada. And so when they bought the building, they wanted to come down and see the brand new building they bought. Well, it's the FBI, and it's a foreign-owned company, so all they could do was go in the lobby. We couldn't even see the rest of the building. It was FBI. You can't just walk around. And so I wanted to end with kind of a joke, but it didn't really make sense, so I had to kind of go out of order. But it was like, I think I had 2 weeks left, and I went in to get my badge, and the 2 ladies were like, hey Matt, we were thinking about making you Employee of the Week again. And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm going to get all big-headed, and my hard hat won't fit anymore.